Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. A very warm welcome to our webinar Securify Introduction. Please switch off your microphones and cameras now to avoid disturbances. Please put in your questions in the chat and we shall answer them at the end of the webinar. This is Kurt Schneeberger, our support engineer. Experienced 25 years in electrical engineering. He's got a degree in telecommunications. We are both doing this webinar today. This is me. I'm the area sales manager for the EMEA region. So today we shall be looking at overview of a Securify family of panels, capabilities and strengths of the Securify panels, features and limitations, and I would show you some success stories of projects that we have done worldwide. So here, this is the Securify family. We have the Securify 500, we have the Securify 1000, we have the Securify 2000, and we have the Securify 3000. So I will be showing you details of each one of those in later slides. This is the full range of our devices that can be put on a loop. We have the smoke heat multi-criteria detector. We have the smoke heat and CO. We have the smoke heat and sounder. We have the smoke heat sounder and speaker, manual call points, different kinds of bases, duct detectors, and a range of special fire detectors, which include aspiration smoke detectors, linear heat detectors, and beam detectors. We have the same engineering software, same operator interface, same loop technology, and loop devices throughout the Securify family of panels. That means the 500, 1000, 2000, and the 3000. IP interface throughout our Securify family range, TCP IP, Modbus, OPC, and ISP. Main indication control panel, which is perfect operator interface with symbols for intuitive reading. It is also very simple with symbols and LED indicators. And we have the possibility to choose from 25 different languages. Main indication control panel, which is the perfect interface. And here is the Securify 500, which is the basic standalone panel with one loop, 3 relays, 2 monitored inputs and outputs, 1 external device bus, and interfaces. The Securify provides external device buses for indication, fire brigade, and intervention panels. We have an indication panel with 32 LEDs or 16 LEDs and 8 push buttons. And the one to the far right is the Swiss fire brigade panel that you see on the screen. The Securify 500 can be set up in 15 minutes with a programming visit. It has a loop template, read loop, and test. Here you see the Securify 1000 version, which is our standard one loop panel. The difference to the Securify 500 are it has 5 relays, 2 external device buses, and an SD card slot. Here you see our Securify 2000, which is a 4-loop standalone or a 2-loop networkable version with maximum 10 monitored input and outputs and 1 zone extinguishing possibility. Here we have the various extension boards for the Securify 2000 version, and these are B6LXYI2, which is a 2-loop module. We have a B6EIO input-output module. We have the B4 USI, which is a universal serial interface module. We have the B6LAN interface module. We have the B6 Net2485 RS485 network module. We have the BX Net2485 FXM FXS optical fiber network module, and we have the B9 Net FX4, which is also an optical fiber interface. Here we have our top of the line panel, the Securify 3000, which is a fully redundant panel, which is fail-safe operation. It has capability of 16 loops and also has multi-zone extinguishing possibilities. It is a modular expansion system, which has the capability of limitless networking, maximum 176 relays, maximum 64 monitor input and outputs. In addition to the other panel interfaces, it has the BACnet interface.
So what we see here actually is now the redundant concept of our 3000 version. You see at the backbone, a fully redundant backbone with the possibility to add now up to 11 slot modules, which means input-output modules, loop modules, the DXI modules, and so on. And actually, we'll add here now the fully redundant modules on the right-hand side of the power supply, the non-redundant relay modules. Please, next one. Here we get now the possible modules to slot in, like linking and networking modules. From the left to the right, we got here the B5 BIM15.1 slot module, which is a management system module, BACnet, building management systems as example, the B8 UC4 board, which is a serial interface for OPC, BACnet, ISP. We got the Net2 board, our standard network module, which provides an RS485 connection, the Net4 485 module for extended networking, and the Net2 FX4 FX8 modules, which provides now either single mode or multi-mode optical fiber connections. The last one, the B5 LAN module, is actually a network module over ISP IP, or even to connect two panels over IP. Then additionally ones, the loop and input-output boards. The standard loop board, the B8 DXI2 board with up to 2 loops. The next one, the EMA board, which provides either 8 monitor inputs or up to 8 conventional lines with up to 32 detectors on it. The B8 OM8 board, which means now 8 monitored outputs. The BUF board is a basic function board which provides even external buses like an MMI bus to connect fire brigade panels, indication panels. The next one is an MRI 16 board with up to 16 24-volt relays on it. And then what I mentioned before, the right-hand side of the power supply, we can add additionally relay modules, the REL10, the REL16 board, which provides up to 16 24-volt relays or 10, 23, 230-volt relays. The REL16E is a bit of a special board, provides actually an extinguishing interface to network the Securifire panel with a third-party extinguishing panel. So here, what we see here is now plenty of input-output modules on the loop. From the left-hand side, we got the BX MDI8 with either 8 monitor inputs or again 8 conventional lines on the loop with up to 32 detectors connected to. The BXI2 provides 2 monitored inputs. The BX01, 1 relay contact. The BX actually 083 is a special branch module, which means now used to connect either beam detector, third-party special fire detectors, which are then fully integrated into our Security line. The BX AIM is actually a conventional line on the loop, which you can connect either now up to 32 detectors or even for X-zone detectors. The IOM module is either special modules to connect as example siren with a high current consumption because it provides an external power supply input which is monitored. The BXRL4 provides 4 relay contacts. The O2I4 provides 2 relay contact or 4 monitored inputs on the loop. The BX actually now EM4 is 4 monitored inputs. The BX RGW, it's the radio gateway for radio detectors on the loop. And the last one, SDA DP82X provides either two inputs and an output for an LED activation, which means now you could even build with an STI82X, like a manual call point or monitor, flow switches, such applications. Now to the fully redundancy of the 3000 version, what we see here, we got now really two systems running inside our 3000 version, which means either by hardware or by software. So either you see the fully hardware is redundant. It bridges if one side fails, then it bridges automatically full either by hardware and software. So mostly used actually is this for nuclear power plant, military installations, especially for extinguishing application, with more than one extinguishing zone, because it's a fully 100% fail-safe design on it. So therefore we got 16 loops per panel according EN regulation. Next one, Zach, please. And that one, yep. So because of the fully redundancy, we are allowed, according EN regulation 12094/1, to build multi-zone extinguishing zones. Suitable for all types of suppressing systems like CO2 high pressure, CO2 low pressure, insert gas, argon, pre-action sprinkler system, water mist system, or even chemical systems. A bit to networking. We have now the possibility to network Securify panels in a bigger system, which means now if we build a network, it becomes one system. So we have two different versions of a network, which is one is SecuriLAN, it's called, with up to 32 participants on the loop, but not more than 16 panels. Means now 16 panels and additionally 16 external mix main indication control panels in one network. You see there is a max 16 panels per loop, per ring, and then a possibility with over 192 loops on it in one SecuriLAN. If this would be not enough, if you need a bigger network, you could even add up to 254 such SecuriLANs in a bigger network, which is called SecuriWAN. This could be then controlled by one main panel, I would say, with over a management system, over TCP/IP, Modbus, OPC, BACnet, with you see over 4,000 panel within your installation and 48,000 loops. So config overline is another possibility with our SecuriFire panel, which means now a full integration of special fire detectors within a SecuriFire concept. What we see here is actually a 500 version with a loop on it, with detectors, sirens, manual call points, and so on it, included now with ASDs or even ADWs, special fire detectors. The main target is actually that you have now the possibility to connect with your SecuriFire Studio configuration tool to the fire control panel and configure and monitor the special fire detectors directly from the panel itself. To the loop itself, which is called SecuriLine. It's a heavy loop, load loop, up to 250 devices on it, participants, long range distance with up to 3,500 meters, short circuit, isolated, each and every loop device, which means now built-in short circuit isolator in each device, like detectors, manual call points, input-output modules, sirens, the whole range. Then what we see here, 0 false alarms. Now our detectors are protected, of course, against fault alarms, which means now our detectors has only one address with up to 3 criteria on it, like smoke, heat, CO. individually programmable via fire alarm control panel. It advises you when dirty or soon dirty, either with directly on your mic with a message, or by maintenance you get even the pollution state directly displayed. Dynamic addressing, which means now if you add a detector, it just is installed directly inside the loop. You just read it out and address. Install a friendly base. What you see, we provide several type of bases with built-in loop switches or without loop switches. Flexible cable, bushing, screw terminals, so on. Of course, the detectors are fully compliant according EN regulations. According EN 54/7 for smoke, EN 54/5 for heat, 54/26 for CO, 29 combined for smoke and heat, a 30 EN 54 certification for heat and CO, and the 31 certification for smoke, heat, CO. What we provide as well is a wireless detector solution directly on our loop. So what it requires is actually a gateway on your loop, a BXWGW. Then you can add up to 32 detectors actually now per gateway, individually addressing of each wireless device. What is mentioned here, up to 30 devices per gateway, of course, is detector and manual call points. Together 30 devices per gateway. The special thing here, we have a hopping function on this wireless solution. If you install the first one, it gets a direct connection to the gateway. The second one will take automatically a direct connection to the gateway and like a hopping function over the first installed detector back to the gateway. For loop testing, even before a panel is installed, we got the possibility with this loop tester to even analyze your loop installation for short circuit or interruptions. Then what we see here, a guided maintenance function, which means a one-man maintenance. You have the possibility to switch your loop to maintenance. Then it leads you automatically through by the included detector, LED on the detector. So the first detector will activate LED, you spray it, it automatically creates you a maintenance list, report over the whole maintenance. Another possibility with Securify panel over the whole range is an email alert notification. There's a possibility to send out emails over a local provider to a client, a customer, even message for alarm, fault, maintenance. Here, the strength, this is now our configuration tool, Securify Studio code. So we have a very easy setup done by templates. So Securiton provides for each device 3000 version, 2000, 1500 version, a defined template with which we start up a configuration. So it's actually a guided process. You start at the beginning with a template in which probably 80% is already integrated of your configuration, and then it leads you through the whole configuration process. If you miss something, there you get a message, error message, something is missing. If you properly configured, you get this complete message, and then it's possible to download. Activations. Because this is fully open system, because of the possibility of even extinguishing systems, fire detection system, you have the possibility to activate each output, siren, and so on by graphic Boolean functions. It's a logic simulator included as well. So you just define an and or as example possibility, what and how it should exactly be configured. and then just download. You see here now our field analyzer, even included in our SecuriFire Studio configurations software. So by reading out our loop, it will display you directly the status of the detector. Is it properly configured? Is there open circuit, short circuit on the loop? Is there a missing device? And so on, directly displayed here in one step. Of course, there are possibilities since we provide different interfaces on our panels, on each panel. We have the possibility to connect graphical packages systems on it, like a management system from Alvis, also the Alvis system from Spirit, from Slovakia. In the middle, we see our UMS, Universal Management System from Securiton, and Advances from Germany. They developed, of course, direct driver for it. It just are the possibility to connect to SecuriFire and just configure it. We have now two evacuation system possibility. Either as Zach already mentioned, we got an MCD573X SP speaker included in our detector, which provides per version up to 4 different languages, which is suitable probably for hotel rooms, small applications, small rooms. If we have an application like a shopping mall, bigger ones, which the detector doesn't fit because of loudness and clearness of the speaker, we provide you a solution with G&M, which is a company owned by Securitas Group, which provides you an evacuation system with a direct interface to SecuriFire. Before we install, we should calculate our panels, our installation, either by loop length or by current calculation. Securiton provides on the homepage, securiton.com, here online configuration as a calculation tools, either a loop length calculation tool or a current calculation tool. You can just log in by yourself and you will get the password username automatically provided within 2-3 days. There's a comparison between the several panels, 500, 1000, 2000, 3000 version. You see even the failsafe possibility, panel networking, only 2000, 3000 version, management system interfaces for all panels, like external device buses. The max number of extinguishing zones, only the 2000 version is a 1 extinguishing zone panel, and the 3000 version up to 8 if we use a gas extinguishing. You see the maximum of loops up to 16 on a 3000 version, up to 4000 detector on a 3000 version, and so on.
So here are some success stories, with our panel: a shopping mall, hotel, and a water park and spa in Bern, Switzerland. We have another shopping mall, hotel, and a wellness spa in Switzerland, a Radisson Hotel in Switzerland. By the way, we have done many hotels worldwide, including Novotel, Hilton, Sheraton's, Hyatt, and others. Here is a Hilton in Ecuador. Here is a high-rise building called the Yacht House in Brazil. It's more than 300 meters in height, and it is the highest building in Latin America, which uses our SecuriFire control panel and detectors. There's a Turku University campus in Finland. It's a 6-story building, a laboratory, and an office zone. The building will host teaching and research facilities, rentable facilities, as well as a gym and a restaurant. Here we have a multi-purpose tower in Malaysia, a Hilton Hotel in Paraguay, and here you see an Etisalat Training Academy in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. Here is a Swiss Paraplegic Center. There are just some of the references that we have shown you. More can be provided upon request. So if you need some references on the use of our products, in particular the SecuriFire firearm control panels, please ask your area sales managers. and we will be happy to send you the information. Thank you for attending our webinar. We invite you to follow us on LinkedIn and on our Instagram channels. And we also invite you to attend our next webinar to be held on 23rd June, which is Thursday. And the subject is beam detection in recycling facilities. Time is from 11 to 11:45. And now we will take your questions if you have any on the Securify, and we will be pleased to answer them. So please go ahead and put your questions in the chat. So we don't see any questions, so we please ask you to put your questions in the chat if you have any. So if there are no questions, we will close the webinar in about 2 minutes. There's a question on Modbus BACnet. Could you say a few words on that? Your microphone is switched off, Kurt. Can you put on your microphone?
Regarding Modbus, I mean, Modbus is provided over the whole range on our panel directly from the main board. So there's no need, a special need of a special module. And of course, it's bidirectional, our Modbus protocol. So it can be used for management system and all these things like nurse calling system, such things. BACnet is a special board, which is only provided by the 3000 version over the Beam 15.1 board. Is this actually the question you had or something different?
So there's also asking any output.
You mean with outputs? Ah, any outputs? You mean outputs we provide either directly inside the panel itself over special boards or on the loop. I mean, either monitored outputs or non-monitored outputs. So the whole range we provide on both possibilities from output side.
So we don't have any further questions. Good. So we'll wait for a few
Yeah, I will wait
minutes.
another couple of minutes.
Yeah. So there's a question in multi-detector. Will it differentiate the gas alarm and then fire alarm control panel?
Let me check where it is in this. Thank you. Will it differentiate the gases alarm in fire alarm control panel. Do you mean actually the CO detector, the CCD573X detector, I guess? We're talking about the CO multi-criteria detector, smoke, heat, CO. Yes, of course, this is a difference. You will get either a smoke alarm, a heat alarm, or a CO alarm directly. You can even differentiate then by activation of outputs, either combined, if the output should be activated either by purely smoke, heat, or CO, or even combined alarm. Any further questions?
No, there's no question, so we wait another few seconds and then we would be closing the webinar. There's a question, quote, if we can just read it out from the chat.
Yeah, let me check. I have to. Some I have to check shortly. Here I have other questions which I'm just reading. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Oh, why my chat is not working at the moment. Shortly problem here. I guess you're talking about this warehouse spread over 3K. They need a solution in which they doesn't need cable between each warehouse. Is there any solution available? So what I understand, you be talking about networking of panels with a distance over 3K. So at the moment, we do not provide a solution to network panels instead by cable over wireless solution or such things. The only possibility is really with either what you say RS485 connection or optical fiber connection. This is actually comes from of the certification. So I mean, it must be redundant, the whole network, otherwise we're not allowed to certify it according to EN regulation. If you lose a network or a wireless solution, then we're not allowed to.
There's another question. Do you
There's
have
another question, do you have
approved?
SEAL 2? No, at the moment our Securify panels are not SEAL certified. Only according to EN. Yes, appearance of our detectors are bulky in size. Is there any plans to change? So Securidon is developing at the moment a totally new loop technology. Even with new loop modules, new detectors, new input-output modules, the whole range. So the design will not change a lot, but the size will change. The new detectors will be quite slower, so smaller than our existing ones. At the moment, we do not provide a 0 to 20 milliamp input module. So there was once a plan, this is more industrial-wise used, but at the moment we do not provide it. Any further questions?
So since we don't have any further questions, we'll be closing the webinar now. So I thank you for attending the webinar, and we look forward to seeing you on the 23rd of June on the BEAM webinar for recycling facilities.
There is one came in again. Does extinguishing output approved? Yes, all our extinguishing outputs on our panels or even the interface is fully approved according to EN regulation. Yeah, exactly, VDS certified. I mean, the VDS tested our system for extinguishing systems according EN 12094, which is actually a EN regulation.